Vic, they had 7 completions of at least 25 yards. How disappointing was your secondary day, and how fixable is it?
Well, it's got to be fixable. Obviously, I think that was a major point in the game when they threw it down the field deep. They made the plays on both sides of the ball. Their defense, we didn't make them on offense when we had our opportunities, and they made them with their offense when they had their opportunities, and I think that was a big part in the game.
Vic, what did you think of the offense's performance? I know they got off to the quick start scoring on the first drive, but kind of spurted from there, and also just Teddy's performance with the 4 turnovers today.
Yeah, obviously Teddy hasn't been a turnover guy. Part of that is, when you fall behind and you're throwing it a lot, that's the risk you run. Once you become an unbalanced offense, the chance of throwing interceptions goes up, and they went up in this game.
Vic, I know the game just ended, but do you have any updates on Alexander Johnson and Garrett? And maybe
I really don't. I know the injuries they have, what area, but I don't know the extent or the severity of them.
What was it with Garrett? Sorry, because I don't know if I got it.
I think he's fine. They just told me he's going to be okay.
Vic, you had said before the season you wanted to give these fans a team they'd be proud of. This game felt like a big game because it was AFC West, a rival. Can you kind of articulate to them what happened given the circumstance, the context of this game?
Yeah, we didn't play good enough, obviously, and I think it came down to the deep balls on both sides of the ball. We had our chances to make some, and particularly in the first half, and that we didn't. We came close, and when they had their chances to make them, they made them. And we'll work hard to get that rectified.
Coach, do you imagine making any significant coaching changes or changes in coaching responsibilities, including for yourself?
No.
Vic, you guys have had a lot of big pass plays for touchdowns given up on the first opening drives this year. What did you see on the one today, and how much is that kind of putting you guys, behind the 8 ball?
Yeah, all 3 of them that you're talking about, first drives of games, have all been pretty much the same. And we just got to get our depth and show up back there in the deep middle a little bit better.
Vic, the offense getting going there again late. I mean, how do you kind of encapsulate that to a whole game, and what's working late in games these past couple weeks?
Well, I think, we got a lot of yards today once the game, became over a 2-score game. And so a lot of those yards are a little hollow, So we need to be a balanced offense to be an effective team.
Coach, on the challenges that you lost, it looked on replay, like they were obvious you were going to lose them. Was there someone upstairs telling you different?
On the first one, we weren't getting a good look, and I thought it was such a critical play at that point in the game that it was worth it. And much like with the second one, it was the long pass that gave him the ball inside the 5. Same thing. It was more of a just because of where the game was score-wise and the time of the game that we tried it.
Vic, the Raiders had 17 hits of Teddy today. What was going on in protection that kind of led to some of those issues?
Yeah, our protection was inconsistent. At times it was good, at others it wasn't. And when you get in a throw-it mode that early in the game, that's the risk you run. And they have a good pass rushing unit, and they were able to beat us some.
Were you concerned going into the game with what happened with the Raiders to Gruden and with their interim coach that, people thought, the Raiders wouldn't come out and play well and, with Carr on their team?
No, I think anything along those lines is what happened last week for them, when it came out on Friday. I think this week they were definitely in the rally mode.
Vic, are you concerned at all that when bad things happen, you're not always bouncing back as a team?
Yeah, we need to answer scores on both sides of the ball ourselves. If we score on offense, we need to get a stop on defense. If we get a stop, on defense, we need to go and get a score. We need to play complementary football that way, and we weren't able to do that today.
I guess along the lines of bouncing back, with it being a short week, is that good or bad for trying to bounce back by only having a game in a few days? And what's the week going to look like for you work-wise?
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or bad, but the fact is we got to we'll be kicking it off here in about 96 hours, and we got to be ready. And we've got to put the game to bed, get over it emotionally, and do everything and anything we can to perform good enough to win in Cleveland.
That was basically my question. How you can't afford a hangover from this loss. What's the confidence level of this team after 3 tough losses?
Yeah, I'm sure it's shaken a little bit, and it's hard not to be. But we've got to rally back, and the way you rally back is have a good week of preparation, albeit a short week, and then go out and play good. There's nothing that rallies you back and gets your confidence up is to making some good plays and playing some good football, and that's what we got to do.
Vic, you started Jerry Judy's clock yesterday. Is there a possibility he could be ready to go by Thursday night?
There's a possibility, but I don't know that it will happen. Anything else for the coach? All right, thank you. Appreciate it.